Okay, we're ready to continue on with Crusader Kings 2. Picking up where we left off on our last stream, which I can never remember because that was already 2 days ago. Let me know, this is my new microphone, so if it's too loud or too quiet, let me know. I haven't been able to test it yet. This is first try. Okay, let's see where we're at. We're ready to continue on with Crusader. Okay, let's see. Yes, I think we were assigning jobs to our council members here. Our chancellor, whose job was to improve diplomatic relations. And I think we took this one over not too long ago because it's totally green now, so I'm going to move him. It's getting nice and red over here, so that usually means that this person's not happy with us. Yeah, opinion of us is negative 100, so I think we're going to move all our people over here to try to smooth things over. Oh, because he's in prison. That must have been one that was trying to plot to kill us. Well, not much is going to change that, so let's go with a new plan. How about we fabricate another claim so we can eventually take over some more land? I think we should keep working. We just took this piece over during the last stream. So I think we'll try to fabricate a claim on the piece that's right next to it so that we can keep expanding our territory. If I turn the realms on, we're the green here. So just slowly creeping over. And basically we'll have to go to war in order to take over that piece of land. We're training troops currently. Our troop number is down a little bit. We were at about 10,000 before we had our last little war to get that piece of property. So I think I'll leave our guy training some troops for a while. And we can always use more money or more gold. We're currently sitting at 1957, but the more the better. In case you go to war, you need to... If a claim does come available, it usually costs you about 200 gold, plus the cost to go to war for it, so it's always good to have some more money. Let's see, he was collecting taxes. We'll put him right there. This is our capital city right here. I think this one might actually earn us more tax money than this one, but I kind of moved the guy around a bit. Next, we're going to... I think we'll build a spy network to see if anything's going on in our capital city. It'll uncover any plots or anybody that's trying to kill us. And let's put our chaplain to research some more cultural tech. We'll just put him right there. Alright, so that puts everybody back to work. What are all these other things? This is your, bar that shows you outstanding things or problems that need to be dealt with. So it's just saying that we could have a grand tournament, but it costs 200 gold, and pretty much when you do that, you end up killing or maiming a lot of your commanders, so I haven't seen much of a benefit in it. I mean, one or two of the guys that do win, they tend to be happy for a little bit, but it sure does a lot more damage in my opinion, so I think we'll skip that. We could hold a feast, but we did that not too long ago. Might be better if we try to do one of these grand hunts. Or a summer fair. Let's see when we can do the grand. Has to be less than November. Oh, so we have to almost wait a whole year for that one. The summer fair might be the next one up. Has to be a month less than August, but greater or equal to May. So we need to basically do it in June, July range. So we'll keep an eye on the dates up here when we unpause it. Vassal inheritance warning. It's saying that if this person passes away, that this barony might transfer to somebody else, but I haven't really had that happen yet, so this is still my first playthrough of this game, so I still have a lot of stuff to learn, and I've probably made a million mistakes. I started playing at 1066 for the year, and we're at 1436, and quite a few things I saw online, most people get to about 1450, and then for some reason things just implode. And I have been having a lot more trouble keeping everything under control lately. So we'll see how far I make it. This has factions. A lot of people are angry with us and are kind of grouping up together to plot to take us over. This one looks a little bit more serious. They don't like the current law structure right now, which I believe is the one where if there's no male heir, it will go to the oldest female heir. Unless a male is born, then he takes over. And right now that's 111%, which getting a little high. I probably should have read this before I assigned all the people to areas, because you can try to dissuade people from joining the faction, which would usually work to kind of cut one or two of these off. The other thing we could do is, if they don't hate us too much, we could try to bribe them, and they may back out. 31, negative 31. Let's see if we could give this guy a gift. Changes by 68. That doesn't mean he may or may not quit doing this, but we'll try. A little bit of gold bribes. 38. Worth a shot. That might end up being a problem at some point here. Alright, let's go ahead and unpause and see what happens. Ooh, all those gold bribes did take me down. We're now at 1769. Hopefully it'll be worth it in the long run. Oh, and then it just started a new year, and every new year it auto-saves, which is a good thing, because you can go back and try to redo something if something goes really bad. So now we kind of just hang out until some events happen. These are different troops, but they're not our troops marching. They could be like some of our different vassals, which are the people that are below us, since we're the king currently. And just to refresh, this is our king that I'm playing right now. He had married somebody he was related to, which was not a good idea, but I didn't have control of this character at the time that he picked his wife. We ended up having a bunch of kids, and one of them, who was named Satan, I picked that name because I ran out of names. He ended up being inbred, and then he died because he just was not good gene pool there. So, okay, here we go. Some of our kinsmen has turned of a legal age. When they turn 16 is when they become a legal age. So now we work on getting him married off to somebody. Most of this game is playing matchmaker. There's a princess available to marry. So basically, she's looking for to get married as well. So you right-click on them, and it tells you how much prestige you would get from marrying into this house. This is always good when it's positive, so we'll go ahead and say yes, we'll marry. Oh, my mother died. At 64, your mother died. Alright, we got a couple events going. So since she passed away, we can usually get her husband a new wife. Oh, there's lots of princesses available at the moment. Why not marry that one off too? There we go. Okay. The last one, the other guy that was in charge of that princess agreed to our marriage match. And he's saying the second one we just arranged with the second princess, they agreed to that one as well. Let's push pause because, oh, jeez, people are dying left and right. Age 56, your courtier Jordan has died of natural death. So we'll get his wife a new husband too. See, this one only has 14 prestige. It's not as high, but she is of our dynasty. Let's see if we can get somebody else. Good enough. Plenty to do. Okay, so I think because we're in that point where we might be able to have the summer fair now, I'm going to go peek at the... I think it's under the intrigue. Yeah, there we go. So let's hold a summer fair. It says you'll lose 25 gold, and then you get to have a summer fair. I have given the order that the summer fair should be held in Trumadialum this summer. The names are very difficult in this game to pronounce. One of these days I'm going to go around and rename all the stuff. This should make the peasants happy. So now it'll do some different things to start the summer fair once we unpause it here. Now we just got to clear our messages. I'm going to slow it down a little. Oh, see, our gold's back up. The jester who performed during the summer fair ran around in his silly hat with bells, and before I knew it, he hit me with his bauble. Everyone laughed at this and at his jokes, or rather his insults. Throw him in prison. And it does say local revolt chance is 1.5%. However, we don't even have another option, so it's like we are putting him in prison. Sometimes it gives you a choice between two things. Our vassal levies were raised too long. Those were all the military troops we used from the people that were below us because we fought a pretty long battle in order to win that piece of land. This slowly goes down as the time continues on. Probably need to see if our people need to be moved around again. Yep. Okay, now we're going to go look at those factions to see if people are angry at us. Oh, see, after we bribed all those people, like, most of them dropped off of that one because we were at 111% of a threat, and now it's at 66. So that went pretty well. The other option we can do is stick our guys into this territory to try to talk them out of joining. So either be Benfree or Turkruknal, which is this one. So we either got to put the pressure on these two. So let's go move our guys. So we're going to improve diplomatic relations. I think we'll put him there. I think we'll work this first one. We're going to keep training troops. Actually, we might need to suppress a revolt. Let's check our revolt status here. See, they are upset here. So we'll move the revolt. This will work on suppressing a revolt. And we're going to move our tax guy over here. And then this is the one where we're going to do, it says, in the list below there, it talks about the chances of something happening by having our spy master scheming in those areas, and its plots uncovered. And then thugs attack the spy master and he dies. Or vassals are discouraged from joining factions, which would be a 46% chance every year that happens, and that's what we're aiming for in this case, so that we can talk them out of joining the faction against us, which they're generally trying to overthrow us, or they at least want the law changed. And we're going to improve our religious standing in that area as well, because maybe some of the people that are in the religious section below them are upset as well. So we're smoothing everything over up here. Alright, back to playing. I never thought a game that you just click around a map would be so fun, but it really is. It's got a bit of a learning curve on it, but I'm addicted to clicking. My liege, I believe that one of your vassals could be discouraged from associating with the conspiratorial factions if the proper leverage is obtained. How do you wish to proceed? So this is what he's going to do, put pressure on that one. Obligate the vassal. You will use legalism to gain leverage on your vassal. We will do nothing for now. I generally think this one works for the most part. Once in a while, it does make them angry, and they have went to war against me before. But generally it works, so we'll go ahead and go with that. And hopefully we can talk them out of joining that faction. Uh-oh. Oh no, this is a totally random other event. So one of our pacts, we're in a pact with the King of Finland. So that if we go to war, he's supposed to send troops to help us, which he did in the last war. But in return now, he's asking for us to honor our obligation and call to arms against his battle. He has a revolt going on in his own country. Declining us would cost us 2,000 prestige and would break our alliance with him. I found that if you actually accept it and then don't send any troops, nothing happens. So at some point in the future, I probably get better at the game, and then I would be happy to send troops to help, but I don't really have a lot of extra troops to do that with, so... Oh, back to our faction guy we were putting pressure on. Honored King, thank you for reminding me of my duties and obligations as your vassal. You are right, of course. For the foreseeable future, you have my promise not to support factions conspiring against you. Signed, Earl, blah, 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 of Turkruknal. And it's like, very good, and it does say his opinion of us is changed by -5 for 120 months. But that should help get him off of our list of people plotting against us there. Factions. But he's still on there. Oh, back to our summer fair. The peddlers are loading their wares, and the merchants are taking down their stalls. The jugglers, strollers, strolling players, and all the other entertainers are preparing to leave. The summer fair is over for this year. It was great fun while it lasted. And then it does say that we gained 10 prestige by having the summer fair. Should be getting closer where we can do the grand hunt as well. You can only do those while you're at peace, so it's best that we get them out of the way if we can. Okay, so we had somebody arrive at court. Oh, because her husband died. He died after a period of illness. So she has a kid, and I don't know if the kid came with. Nope, the kid did not come. So we can get her a new husband. We could get her engaged to the chaplain here. It's not super huge amount of prestige, but better than negative. I usually only really pay attention to the ones that, like, seriously marrying off as the ones in my direct line. My kids, my grandkids, something to that effect. I think that part of the game, which I haven't been able to tackle yet, is that you can take over different land by marrying into the family, and then when somebody dies, then it becomes part of your land, which is where, if we look at the realms, you can see Scotland has up here, but if we come down, I think, unless they've lost it again, over here, oddly enough, Scotland's here and here, which is really far away for them to be battling to get to. So most likely they had married somebody in this area, and then that person died and they inherited the land. So that's another part of the game I'm going to have to try to play maybe on the next playthrough, is figuring out how to do it by marriage to take over land. Because see, they're over here. Just random areas. I don't think they got quite over here. And you can see which ones are dominating more than others. Holy Roman Empire seems to be doing pretty good. Sweden's got the north part up here. And here's us, a little bit of green. When I started this, they call this Noob Island, because it's where you start, because no one can get to you as easily. So you can be peaceful a lot longer. I started with these 2 pieces of land. So I've slowly taken over each of these areas by the fabricating claims, or just planning out going to war with somebody, and then when you win the war, you take over the property. Alright, let's go back to the unpause. Like I said, if you're in chat and I'm too loud or too quiet, just let me know. Getting this new microphone tested here. I have a Blue Yeti. So giving it a good round today. My liege, my mission to Trill Chucknall has so far been a success. During my visit, the court of the Bishop Delegas of Rathboth, I seem to have managed to make him understand what a benevolent and pious ruler you are, and he sends his regards. Your humble court chaplain. Perfect. And it says that bishop's opinion is changed by 20 for 2 years. So, see, we're smoothing over a little bit here, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to fix that factions problem. See, he's still on the list there. Our marriage that we proposed, they have accepted. Sometimes they do reject it. Either you're trying to marry too high, like you're marrying just a plain old count up to a princess, and they're like, my daughter's too good for that. And they turn you down. Alright. Some other stuff we could check in on is our, let me push pause here. He's saying, we propose that King of France, and so we have a courtier that they want to marry off to the King of France, which would be fine. It's no direct off of us, not one of our kids. But we want to keep an eye on our packs, because these are the ones that help send troops if we go to war. And every once in a while, it's nice to throw a little bit of money at them if this is starting to get a little bit low, so they'll keep sending troops to us. The ones mainly with the portraits having the little bubbles around them is the ones that have more land or more troops or higher rank. So those are the ones we want to be. This one's in prison, so it probably won't do much good to... I mean, I think they can still control some of their troops. We'll keep an eye on it. But we have pretty good ones. Oh, well, actually, he doesn't even have any troops right now. He must have fought a battle. Alright, let's take it off pause again. Oop, I should check on my Grand Hunt. So we're up in the intrigue panel. Dang it. Less than November. Ugh, we're not at peace. Oh yeah, because that guy asked us to help out, and you remember I said we weren't going to send any troops? Oh, so until that war is over, we can't do our Grand Hunt. That's too bad. That's why I was trying to hurry up and get him in before we ended up in a war situation again. So that's that. We still have some prisoners in our prison. Let's go check on those. This is the one that here that had kind of plotted, I think, to kill us. So we were able to imprison him. Well, I don't want to let him go because he'll be super angry at me and still probably try to do something. Because you could ransom him and it just puts him back to his property there, his land. You'd get gold, but yeah, he's angry. You could execute him, but if you execute him, I think it angers all of your other vassals because then they become afraid that you'll do that to them. And we don't want to release him, so we'll just kind of let him rot in prison. Sometimes they might die. You have the option sometimes... Oh, I already put him in like the lowest, deepest, darkest dungeon to try to help speed up his death. You could put him on house arrest as an option, but it says they have a high chance of escape, so I've never bothered with that. Most of the ones that are in prison because they did something that definitely is not good and will get us in the long run. We have a couple of threats. The Earl of Benfrey and the Earl of Dyfed. But they're not super high on the threat list yet. If they got up there real bad, we'd take care of them. Dyfried's, I think, over here somewhere. There. He thinks we hold too many duchies, which is all the land. They get angry when you have too much land. And I give some to my son because he'll get it anyway eventually. But if you give too much to your son, then he starts getting the idea that he's going to take over. He's tired of waiting to be king. He currently is managing these for me. The ones that are in green, these are the ones that I think I directly control. Others are just held under vassals, which are kind of like managing it for you. But you don't get to raise your troops on those in direct taxes. And the happier you keep your vassals, the more troops they'll send you if you go to war. Oh, we got that sped up pretty high there. Should be about time to move our people again. Oh, we got something going here. Okay. Oh, we must have a threat against our daughter. Saying, I can send my daughter into hiding in order to greatly improve her personal security against murder plots. Her prestige and diplomatic ability are likely to suffer. However, who knows how a life in hiding may affect her personality. Lucy goes into hiding. Prince Lucy gains the trait of I'm in hiding. She's kind of an older... Does she have any kids? Or do we... Oh, because she's engaged to somebody but hasn't married them yet. I don't know that. I think she's down the line a few. Yeah, so she's like third or fourth in line. I don't know. Let's go see if we can see if there's any threats or how big they are against her. We go to the intrigue one and it'll show known plots. Somebody's got one against our queen. It's our sister. I don't even... Oh, there she is. Oh, it's only a 12%. I think we're gonna leave her out of hiding for now. If this starts climbing up, then we can move her. If she was our only heir, and that was like the next in line, then I would put her in hiding. But we already have an heir. See, she's way down the line. And the rule of the game is that when you die, it goes to your heir, and you start playing as this one. If he dies, then it goes to his heir, which is our grandson, this one. But we have some kids that need to have guardians. Kids are always supposed to have guardians. Somebody that kind of watches after them and then teaches them, and that's where they gain some of their traits. And you want to usually try to have a good guardian for the one that's going to be possibly your next... Oh, we're already deciding on one there. Your next heir, because you get some bad traits sometimes, and then your vassals and everybody really hate you. Like if you're angry, a tyrant, He's proud, so he gets extra monthly prestige. This one's not as ideal, but the rest of these, he's kind, diligent, temperate, scholar, and a fortune builder, so he gets like 10% of fertility, which, having more kids. Start on pause. And our grandson's starting to get strong, kind, and just, so he's got a decent tutor, basically. I can't stop thinking of all the prisoners in my dungeon. They are at my complete mercy. What a thrill it would be to hurt them, to hear the sweet screams, and to see the panic in their eyes. Resist my foul impulses, and then you would gain 10 piety, which is what the church makes the church happy. Or guards, oil up the rack. You would lose 10 piety, but you would also make the prisoner suffer more. You have a 30% chance that he suffers, wounded, or maimed for life, or he dies. I say we go ahead and oil up the racks. I was perhaps a bit too enthusiastic torturing Enar. He did not survive the session. Whoops. Oh well, who will ever know? Lose 10 prestige. So, well, that got rid of our one prisoner. That should be, I think, the one that we had a problem with. Let's push pause and go take a peek. I do want to get... Oh, it's a new year, so they saving the game for us. Oh, and still more going. Dear Father, peace be with you. I gladly accept the guardianship between Princess Lucy and Madia. And then we got to go ahead and get his other kid a guardian as well. Sign guardian. Okay. And he accepts that one too. So I think everybody has a guardian now that's in our direct heir line. Our troops are up to 8,000. That's good. The lords of Uri have improved the institution of high centralization law. We've been trying to pass that for a couple generations. In the laws tab, which I'm still learning this one as well, I think okay, so it's centralization law. So I think that this is the one, high. So it's just saying that I think we can have more land and we have less vassals. So it's allowing more for us to control, which is what we need as we keep growing. It's hard when you're limited to where you're only supposed to have like 6. So now we can have 7. A minute ago we could only have 6. So it gives us one more piece of land we can own. Okay. Let's pause that for a second and check our jobs again. Okay, so it's time to move our people again. I think it's time to collect taxes in a different area. Maybe you should research economy tech for a little bit. Let's do that. Take a break from the taxes. Don't want to do too much taxes or people start getting really angry as well. Let's check our factions. We're down to only one guy over here, so we want to move probably our people over to this one, which was the other one, and see if we can get him to quit being in that faction, and then we can concentrate on the next one. So let's move our people. I think our revolt risk is over. Let's go back to training troops. We'll train troops down here. We're going to improve relations with... Oh, I always do that. Click on the wrong spot there. Okay, moving him there. And then we're going to discourage factions there. And we'll work on all of the bishops below the vassal as well. Okay, so we've got our people moved. Okay. Your marshal has initiated a massive recruitment drive in Dashalmian. So that's where he's working on training us some more troops. Okay. My mission to Benefrine has so far been a success. During my visit, the Earl, I seem to have managed to make him understand what a benevolent and peaceful ruler you really are, and he sends his regards. So his opinion has changed for 20. I don't know if it's going to be enough to... Well, he's at least positive, so there's a chance he might quit doing this. If the other guy puts the pressure to dissuade him from joining the faction, we might win him over. So somebody had a son, was born. So we're going to go over here and assign a guardian. We'll just let it go to whatever the default is right now. Sometimes if their religion is not, or they're not Irish, and you give them an Irish tutor, there's a chance that they'll become Irish. And we are currently Irish. I'll clear my messages here. Okay. See if we have any technology points to spend. We do not. So we haven't really been researching it too much. That war is going negative 1%, so slow. That thing would go off. We'd be able to have our grand hunt, but it's not looking promising. Our vassal levies being raised too long was negative 11. Now it's down to negative 5. So that'll help make some of the vassals like us a little bit better once that's off of there. They still want us to send our daughter into hiding. So we should probably check in again with the intrigue tab here. And see how the plot against her is going. If it's gained some people, there's intrigue. Still at 12%. So it's just one person wants to kill her. Somebody related to her. So it's probably somebody who... She doesn't even have any title she can inherit, so... And her soon-to-be husband's almost of legal age. So soon she'll be married off and not our problem anymore. I don't think. The other area we can check on here is we have some titles. Maybe we should slow this down. Leave it going. See, some people have died. So I have some new people we can assign. I don't usually do the court jester unless it's somebody you really, really hate. Which that guy died, I think, is the one. We were going to go check and see which one died. But we'll go ahead and do the Keeper of the Swans. So with the swan meat being without a doubt the finest meat available from either beast or fowl, the need to ensure a steady supply of swan is important. The post of Master of Swans carries a certain amount of prestige. So you give this to somebody and it makes them, like, their opinion of you changes by +5, and they also get a small monthly salary. So I usually just do these, and you can kind of sort by your people's opinion of you, and maybe you could do somebody that's, you know, either you're trying to impress or want them to go up a bit more. You can get somebody that's on the bubble where they almost like you or almost hate you, and it might help change their opinion of you. So we'll scroll down here and see if we see someone that's, like, teetering on the edge. Not sure, but it may have to be a male, too. This one's related to us. That's what the blood drop is there. So we'll go ahead and give him that one. We'll award him Keeper of the Swans. While we're here, we have a Master of Horse available. Let's see if we can find another guy down here. Oh, that's the one that the Earl of Benfriany, the one that was totally not liking us. Alfonso, Prince of Leon, your courtier. Let's go ahead and let's just do the one that hates us. We can keep making him like us better. Maybe he'll leave us alone. Okay, we'll make him the Master of the Horse. It says the horse is a symbol of that, although the Master of Horse delegates the actual day-to-day managing of the actual stables. The prestige of this office comes from the responsibility of the stud. So now we'll have Master of Hunt. In an era when hunting was an opportunity to demonstrate horsemanship and martial prowess, the hunt was serious business. The Master of Hunt was a imposition of importance. Let's get somebody that's higher up this time. Our brother. We can make him Master Hunt. And we're going to go ahead and leave the Jester off for now. We do have a Court Dwarf currently. Or if you look at the traits, I told you how those traits are important depending on who you marry. So this one ended up being a Dwarf. So his attraction opinion is -30, so it makes it harder for him to have kids. Because his spouse is not as attracted. He is a scholar, temperate, envious. So see, he's envious of the king, so he already has like -15 of liking us. So let's go and pause. Another part we can work on too is construction of our capital. We do have a little bit of gold. We could spend a little here. Let's see if we can move our job people yet. Yes. So we can do some construction. If you move your steward, who usually is the one collecting taxes, he also can oversee construction. So it cuts the build time by, I think, 50%. So if we put him where we're going to be building for a little while, hopefully it speeds up the process of the build. So if we right click, I think it's, yeah. We have a couple of options that we can upgrade. We can upgrade our stables, our castle town. The castle town I usually like to do because it helps us get more taxes later. And we're not warring a lot right now, so these would help give you more morale or levy reinforcements. You could maybe get some more troops. So that one wouldn't be a bad one either, but I think we're going to go with castle town for now. So it's going to take 550 gold, and it'll take 821 days to complete the castle town upgrade. So we keep making improvements, and I think you can improve a couple of these things here. This is our main capital, and then there's different little areas underneath it. And you can upgrade each of those as well. This one doesn't have any upgrades currently available, and neither does that one. I think we can do a little bit of basic for some of these others, but most of the time these actual vassals control doing their own upgrades. But this is one that, see, we're in charge of that one. So we can make little, see other castle walls. That's usually a good one to increase because it helps during a siege. So we might spend a couple bucks there and work on the castle walls there. But we don't want to go too much less because we want to keep our gold up. I don't want to go below, I think, the 1,500 in case we go to war, and we'll have some money to buy or hire mercenaries if we get in a bad pinch. If you need more troops, you can hire some to help you win a war. And it comes in handy sometimes. And if you have no money, it's a good chance you might lose the piece of land that you're fighting over. And that's also where I mentioned keeping the vassals happy helps them send more troops to you. Like, they may have 1,600 troops available, but he's not too happy, or she's not too happy with us. So she's only going to give us 83 troops. So the happier they are, the more troops they'll send our way. And that would be helpful. Okay, back to playing. A daughter was born. We don't get to pick names of any of the other kids, only the ones that are our direct heirs. So we'll go ahead and get her a guardian. We could take a peek at her, the one it assigned to her, to see what traits he has. Scholar theologian, charitable, brave, proud, wrath, temperate. So he's an okay one for being a... Oh, dang it. Clicked on it. Assign guardian. Okay. Another option, sometimes when I've ran out of stuff to do for a little bit, I can go through my court. And you can sort either by rank or by their opinion of you. And sometimes I go through and see, like... Let's get back out of this one. Sometimes people's spouses have died and you don't even realize it. So I kind of just start randomly clicking through some to make sure that they still actually have a husband or a wife. Because you get so busy, you miss some stuff, especially if you're at war. So, oh, the one guy died, the one, I think that was in our prison, so the Countess is inherited. She's still not fond of us either, but she's only negative 36, where he was like a negative 100, so we could probably win her over eventually here. We'll check in on her in a minute. She's betrothed to a kid. So here's one where the husband had died, and then her second husband died, so she's currently unmarried. So this is one we could sit there and get her a marriage. She doesn't have too many prospects here. Sometimes we don't get to choose. I think it depends on their rank. So that works. She's get a new husband. See, it's another one unmarried. Ooh, the King of Sweden's looking for a wife. Wasn't much prestige as I was hoping, but why not? So this is something I sit and go through. We got one where the husband was... The red skull usually means they were either killed. In this one case, he died in a battle. So she's unmarried. Running out of... Ooh, that's a negative 300. That's not a good match. Let's see if we can... Oh, geez. None of these are good matches. It's because I think she's marrying below her. Because it's like marrying the relative of a count. But, good enough. Get rid of her. This is also where I can see if a kid doesn't have a guardian while I'm going through here. There's our wife. Oop, we got another one here that doesn't have a... Dang it, keep clicking on the wrong spot. Okay, sign her running out of guys here. We might have to invite some more people to court eventually. Okay. That's enough of that for me. Let's go over here. So she inherited. So technically these two might end up having inbred kids as well because they both have the blood drop. So that means they're related. But I probably wasn't... I don't have control of that one again, so she's had her own kids. We could try to assign a guardian to them. They may not agree. And we can try to give her a gift. That'll change her opinion to just 2, but it's better than totally hating us. And see, now if I click the opinions, it went from red to like that kind of off green. She accepts the guardianship. We gotta do another guardianship on her other kid. Okay, we got things going everywhere here. Except that the king of... what king was that? Sweden. They accepted it. Alright, we got it. It says someone either died or left. So now we have a kid that doesn't have a guardian. So we'll assign another guardian. There we go. They still probably want to put our daughter Lucy in hiding. They accepted the suggestion that those two get married, so we'll go okay. Close some of our notices here. It's just saying that those ones that were married off have left our court to go to the other courts. Let's check our revolt risk to make sure. Most of these are the ones over here are the ones where it gets a little bit higher revolt risk, but that's because they're a different culture. Since we took over this land, they're not Irish, and I get a little angry about that, but I haven't seen them actually revolt. The 2% chances doesn't seem to be high enough to cause a problem over here. Okay, and pause. Our vassal levies raised too long. Warning is at -3, so it's almost down to 0. That war's at 3%. Still taking forever. Uh-oh. Our son has declared war on Shrewsbury. Luckily, it's like... This is the good and bad part. Like, because you don't control your heir until you play the heir, like, he can do whatever he wants over here. And like I said, that's how I end up marrying somebody it was related to. So he's decided he wants some more land. So he's going to war for something over here. Shrewsbury. See, he wants this piece of land. So he's going to go to war against the Queen of England in order to get it. So he has not asked you for any troops. He's going to manage his own. He doesn't have a lot of troops, and she probably has a ton. Well, actually, she's down. So maybe she's had a lot of battles here recently. So that'll just kind of play out on its own while we continue our game. Like I said, that can be annoying The other thing that has happened to me before is that my king dies and then I take over for the son and he's got this giant war going that I really wouldn't want to be in. And I have to go clean up the mess. Just part of the fun. Because you never know what's going to happen. I've had this king die, this one come up for just a little bit, and then he dies like right away. It ends up with like an infant son. And when you have one that's underage, it's very difficult because everybody thinks they can kill the kid and become king themselves. So you'll get like, if he has any brothers, the brothers will try to kill your kid so that they can take over because they think they have a right to the throne. Watch the age. Okay, 8. So we don't have to do anything. She's 19. Okay, here we go. I was just checking that to say our daughter Lucy can now marry this guy of the Byzantine Empire. She's going to give us a whole bunch of prestige. It was like a good match. And that'll probably give us another pact to help if we go to war. That he'll send some troops. Yeah. He doesn't have a very good opinion of us. Oh, it just now gone up because he got married. We probably want to throw some gold at him so that if we do go to war that he'll send some troops our way. Woo, 250 gold. I haven't seen it be that high before. I better see how many troops he has. Well, that's why, because he has 82,000 troops. Might be worth that. To have somebody in your back pocket to send all the troops in. Maybe you don't even have to send your own in, but 250 gold is a bit steep. We'll think about that one for another minute or two. Hopefully no war breaks out in the meantime, and then we'll regret that. So somebody can get married. That's fine. It's because he grew up. He became of a legal age. Also related to our dynasty, but not our direct, son or children. Okay. Maybe we can see if we can arrange a marriage. He's not considering it. Okay. That didn't work. It's hard to suggest marriages for ones that the other vassals control. Once in a while they'll do it, but not very often. Our knowledge of legalism has increased to 4. Maybe we have some technology points to spend. Let's go look. Nope. We haven't really been researching that too well. Let's see if we need to assign jobs again. Yep. Let's check our factions. That dude's still in there. He will not get out of there. Let's go work on this one. So this is the guy over here. So we're going to move our people this way now. Try to improve his opinion of us by moving our chancellor over there. I think we'll move our training troops to up here and train some more troops in our capital city. We're still doing construction. We can check in on that. Still a bit to go. So I'll leave our steward there at the moment, and then pretty quick I'm going to put him back to collecting taxes so we can get our gold up. We'll let him go one more round there. This is if we send the spy master over here, this is the one that will help try to talk him out of joining the faction. That would be against us to try to overthrow some of our ideas or take our spot. The court chaplain, we'll move him here to try to improve some of the bishop's opinion of us. And I think that should take care of... This is the one that had a inheritance warning because he was a kid, and that if he died he had no heir, and that there's a chance that it would go to this guy. But now that he's married, he'll probably have a kid, and then we don't have to worry about this inheritance warning. As long as he doesn't die before he has a kid. We should make sure that... Craven... Slothful... I think they should be... I don't see anything like... Once in a while they'll get one that is homosexual. And that causes a bit of difficulty to try to have kids. I did have one king that was homosexual, and it took some work to have some heirs. It did happen, and we were on track, but... Got a little dicey there. I think it's cool that the game even has that as an option. I'm sure that happened back in the day too, so I accept the suggestion that Manisha and Baron get married. Great. Now they can go have some kids and we'll quit that inheritance warning. When our vassals' levies being raised too long, warning has went off. So now we could probably go to war again and they wouldn't be super angry with us right away. If you go to war and they're still mad about you going from the last war, not helpful. Hold on just a sec. Okay, had to turn the fan on. Computer's heating up a little bit. And if you're in the chat, say hello. Let me know if my new microphone sounds okay, if it's too loud, too quiet. I have no idea what it sounds like on the other side yet. Alright. Somebody arrived at our court, which generally means somebody died. So we did have somebody else die. So time to get his wife a new husband. Prince of Sweden. That'll be good enough. Okay, let's see what other one. She came back to our court. She had an old dude and he died of an illness. Then she got a new husband and he was murdered on the orders of some other baron. So somebody plotted to kill him, and now she's looking for a husband again. So we'll marry her off again. Nope, that's got negative 100. We'll see if we can find a better match. Nope. Sometimes they're just no good prospects. Doesn't say he's related to us. Let's go ahead and do that one. Okay, so we got her a new husband. Let's unpause. Let's check our opinions again. A son was born to Lucy of the Byzantine Empire and Prince Alfonso of Leon, named Conal. So our daughter that was having the death threats there has already went off and had a kid. But we won't have much control over that because it'll be under his line. We should check in on that pact again. Still at 3. And if I send the gift, it's still probably 200 something. Ugh, still 250 gold. I'm not going to do it right now. If things start looking dicey, gotta remind me to try to bribe that guy. So he'll help send us some more troops. If this war would hurry up and get done, we could do our grand hunt. Because we're coming around to it again. And we could try to send troops to help, but nah. Maybe in future runs at this game. There's all these options here too, which I don't play around with as much. It shows you like the different religions. We zoom out, like this is all Catholic area, Orthodox Jewish, Buddhist, Hindu, and then all the other random religions. And you can start the game from any one of these and play and try to take over the world to make everybody Buddhist. This will show different cultures. So we'll see where the Irish over here, English, Turkish, Bengal, Egyptian, Persian, Nubian, Octanian, French, Italian. It also shows which areas have more money than others. Some of these might be having difficulties, or they had just gotten taken over in a war, so they haven't had a chance to build up their economy. De jure shows like ones that are controlled. These are the ones that we directly have. De jure kingdoms. This is what belongs to us, like, because it's actually Ireland. And how the other green part we don't own is not really supposed to be ours, but we've been fabricating claims and taking it over, so we're kind of pushing our way over. And then this shows empires: Scandinavia, Russia, Britannia, Hispania. I showed you the revolt risk before. This shows dynasties. The very first character I played on here was like UA Brian. So that's what's saying this is his dynasty. We usually play with the opinion mode on. And direct vassals, that shows the ones that we control. Trade zones, which I haven't had a chance to really mess with the trade zones too much yet. I did build the little ports, but I still don't understand all that future stuff. Like, this game is so complex. It takes a bit to learn all the ins and outs, and I think a few runs through it to really figure it out better. I had to watch quite a few tutorials and even be able to start the game. They have epidemics, which I think I've had a few come through, like it'd be slow fever or some different things. And if you have one of the expansions, there's actually one that I think puts more of those, like the plagues and things that go through and kill off all your people. I think that works a little bit better when you have one of those going. Defensive packs, this is showing who might be buddies with each other or will, kind of go against the others. Alright, so let's get back to our, we'll go back to our opinion map and zoom back in. I cannot get any rest with Ornat pestering me about making her good friend Spy Master. She does not care that our Spy Master, Fernandez Jimenez, is competent, skilled, or great Spy Master. So we have some choices here. It's either stop pestering me and I'll make your friend Spy Master, or nothing you say or do will make me change my mind. If you do that, then sometimes she ends up hating you. See, it displeases our queen. But sometimes I've noticed the ones that they try to suggest are like terrible. They have like really bad skills. So she wants our son-in-law to be Spy Master. So you go look at his intrigue is 10. That's what skill's supposed to be high for you to be a Spy Master. And usually around 20, you could be 19, 20, 21 is good. So that's terrible. If we go look at our Spy Master, see it's 22. So like, why would I want a Spy Master that's 10? So in this case, I'm going to say nothing you can say will change my mind. Because we don't want him. Oh man, another war. Dear father-in-law, so the King of Scotland wants us to join his war. And as I mentioned previously, I find that if you just accept and then don't send troops, at least keeps everybody happy. Because if you decline, then it breaks our pacts, and then when we want to go to war, we don't have any help. So we're just going to say we'll help and not help again. In future runs of this, I'll probably work on that a bit better. Okay. They're still training troops. Somebody is no longer a participant in the War of Shrewsbury. Somebody else has joined the war as a defender. So our son's probably botching things up trying to go after that piece of land. We could try to check in and see if we can see how his war's going. This shows that he's defending against two different war things going. I don't know if we can see who's winning or not. It's hard to tell. Guess that he'll probably botch it all up for us, and then it's just as our king dies, then we'll have to deal with it. The daughter was born, Princess Anastasia of Pomerania, named Deidre. So we want to assign a guardian. That'll do. We got to get back to our home screen. And I know there's a way you do this. You could set up to go to home, which I have not set up all these little fast buttons. So many things to deal with here. It's the start of the year, so it's saving again. And I probably need to really do my own master save. I try to do a master save with a different name so I can remember where I was at. Let's go ahead and do that so we have our own save. A little slow here. So it's saving it with our territory name and then the current date. And I'm just going to go going. Okay. Sometimes I'll put before war if I know I'm going to declare war against something in case it goes bad, or I'll put after war if the war went okay and we won. Or if I'm going to plot to kill somebody or marry somebody off and I'm not sure if it's going to be a good idea, I'll do a little save beforehand. Takes a minute to save. That is another thing we haven't really done too often in here. I think my first stream I might have did a plot to kill somebody. You run the risk of being known as a killer, and then opinion of you goes down as well. So sometimes you get away with it, sometimes you don't. Someone will get drunk and tell your plot to kill somebody. Let's go look. So we can choose a plot to kill somebody, go after something, and it'll show you the odds of it succeeding. Like if you can talk some extra people into helping you. This one here is a good one. Like it shows initial plot power, 78% chance that it will go through. But if you talk some other people into joining the plot with you, that the odds of it succeeding are about 359%, which generally that means they'll succeed and kill her as long as nobody tells. But I don't know if I really want to kill anyone. If you had some sworn in, I'm just going to look at these and see if any. What's this one? And you can look at who they are. See, it's somebody related to you. It's kind of an older lady, and she doesn't even have any kids or anything, but see, it's saying that she thinks she has a weak claim on all of our property. This is all our land. We could try killing her. See how it goes. Let's go back and get her. Okay, she was down here a little bit. I already can't see her. Could have changed too. Oh no, there she is. So what we do is we're going to auto invite plotters. So it's going to try to tell you which ones would be likely to join. See how this is like a red, like there's a 27% chance if she joined that our chance of succeeding would go up, but she's saying that she doesn't want to join. When they have the yellow hand, that means they're like on the fence. Like if you throw some gold at them, they would probably help you. The ones that have green are already going to join automatically. So we might see where we're at after the green ones join, and then if you really need to push it where you need to get rid of somebody, sometimes you do this for like your wife. If you have a wife that's just terrible or won't have any heirs for you, you can try to kill her and get yourself a new wife. Then you may have to bribe a bunch of people to help you. So we'll push on, take the pause off and push play, and then see how many people join and where our percentage is. The other thing you can do to sometimes increase your plot power is you stick your spy master on wherever the town that this one's living at, and it increases the odds of the plot going through as well. But this is going up quite high already, so this will probably succeed. Whether somebody tells or not is another problem. Sometimes I've had ones where I cannot get it up even to 100 no matter what I do. There's only like 4 people that are willing to join the plot with you, and it's not enough to succeed or go through. My co-conspirator has hired someone to saw through the supports of the railing on the balcony that girl is known to frequent. Someone may soon take a bit of a tumble. Look out below. Approve the plan. It takes a few before it goes through. So let's go back and work on... Okay, we get to move our people again. Alright, we need to start collecting some taxes. So let's move our tax due to here, because I think this is one of the higher tax zones. Let's check our troops. We're at 10,000, so we can make our marshal do something else for a little bit. Let's have him research some military tech. Get our technology up a little bit. Let's check our factions. He still really hasn't... None of this succeeded this time like it did with the other ones. It's pretty low anyway. I think we'll just move our people and forget about our factions for a little bit. If they start building up again, we can go back after them. Okay. So we could go back to trying to fabricate a claim so that we can have a chance at getting some more land. We'll stick our chancellor over there. The chance of him succeeding per year is not very high. So it's like a 19% chance yearly that he can fabricate a claim that's saying that we have a right to this land. Let's send our spy master to study technology. We haven't done that for a while. We got to really beef up that stuff a little bit. So this is one where you can kind of pick wherever is green and you want to send him. I think when you first start the game, there's a whole lot more choices you can send him to, but we're running out of places. I don't think I've ever sent him up here before. We'll stick him up there and see what happens. We can research cultural tech as well. I think it only lets... No, I think you have to put it there. We'll just stick him randomly up there. Okay, get zoomed back in. I usually play a little more zoomed out, but you really can like zoom in on your people and see them. It's not as exciting. Like I said, this game is more about just clicking on the map than it is more about like the battle. Excuse me for a second. Okay. So let's unpause. Success! Cartedergen fell through the ground like a piece of rotten fruit when the balcony railing gave away. Unfortunately, the carpenter who had weakened and had second thoughts and revealed my involvement. Eek. See, that's what I said. Sometimes you succeed, but they find out. Good but bad. Generally, that means then that we succeeded, but I think if we go look at our traits, it'll say something like killer or, yeah, known murderer, general opinion -10, and that'll stay in place until 1490, so pretty much he'll be dead. So that's the risk you take when you do the plots, and generally when you do plots, you want to do it for a real reason, like we were just messing around, but it's the ones, like I said, where you're killing your wife, so that you can get an heir, like a better wife that'll produce heirs, and you're trying to also maybe kill somebody who has a piece of land you want. So if you kill all the people below it and you're next in line for it, then you could maybe take over the territory. Uh-oh. We have an imprisonment chance. We must have... Okay, let's pause. We got too much stuff going. Try to imprison Erna Maklaw. We have a 100% chance of success based on our intrigue. If we fail, he might declare war on us. Or flee to another court. Since he acted dishonorably toward us, no one will care. Because sometimes you'll get this and they'll say like 56% chance, but because it's a vassal, then the other people will, your other vassals will be like angry if you go ahead and try to imprison him. But we're going to go ahead and give it a go. He's safely tucked away, or locked away in my dungeon awaiting his fate. Excellent. We haven't checked on our prisoners for a while, have we? We only have one, so the other two have either died. We can banish him, which I have done that before, and I think we get gold when we do that. No, he doesn't have any gold. We might wait and let him rot a little bit more. Because you can banish, and sometimes you'll take whatever gold they had. This is the release from prison, but maybe a problem, and then, or you could execute. But I think, see, the execute one is like, the vassals will hate you by 10 more, and it'll cost you, the church won't like you as much, so I haven't really executed. Let's check our threats. We got one at 56%. Then this guy over here just is not happy with us. I wonder what his deal is. He's even married to our kinsman. Wonder if we give him a gift, how much? Change it by 44, but it costs us 66 gold. And it still would make him hate us, so I think I'm just going to let him rot over there for a little while. He can fester on his anger at us. Oh, our walls have been built. Remember we were building a little bit of upgrading the walls over here. Those have been finished. And at 62, your kinsman was murdered by the orders of the king. So this is telling us that she died. And now if you look at it, it says she was murdered on the orders of the king. Sometimes it would just say had died under suspicious circumstances if we weren't found out. But because we were found out, it says that. We can also work on getting her husband a new wife. There we go. And he has a kid here, so we'll go ahead and assign a guardian. Oh, we must not control. Oh, well, we'll let that go. Okay. My actions may have killed a member of my dynasty. I have gained the dynastic Kingslayer trait. Ooh, I didn't even notice. So because she was related to us, Now I get Kingslayer. We get -3 diplomacy and -15 dynasty opinion. So we pissed off all our family by killing her. Whoops. And like I said, when we killed somebody we didn't even really have to kill. But it's alright. This king is 49. I've seen some kings die around this point. Some of them get up to 70, 80. Sometimes I get stuck with the ones I really don't want to. They'll live forever. The ones I wish they would die don't. We'll see how long he lasts. His son is already 29. Oh, looks like he had some more kids. Let's get some more guardians over here. We have to unpause so that they'll accept the guardianship. Let's see how our grandson's doing. He's getting some good traits. Oh, we got some other things here. But he's strong, kind, just, brave, and ambitious, which are all good traits for a king, because what will happen is, oh, look, we turned into an old man. We'll die, we'll play this one until this one dies, and then we take over this one. So it's really important if you have a good king to play in the future here. But yeah, we turned into an old man. We must have hit 50. Yep, 50. Our wife still holding on there. Steward Arnold has some interesting ideas on how to improve the economy. Because remember we had him researching the cultural or the economy tech? Oh no, he already quit doing that. He's doing taxes. But it's saying, adopt his ideas. We'll lose 21 gold, but our economy technology speed rate will be increased by 100%. And if we say it's not worth it, then his opinion changes by 9 cents. All I see is that's a positive. So we have some gold. We can go ahead and do that. That might help over in our technology. If we have any points to spend in any of the technology, which just increases some of the options we have, this will be lit up. Oh, we have one. I didn't even notice. See, they blends in. I always have to check. So we can invest in religious customs. It just says their temple vassal opinion will be changed by +2. So our church people will be a little bit happier. So that's good. Okay. I gladly accept the guardianship. We need to check on the other kids still. That was that one. Let's go ahead and keep putting guardians on these, since they are of our direct family here. He accepted that one. We got one more here. Sign guardian. Someone has become a commander. I haven't been checking my commanders either too much because we've been really warring. Enter the minor titles, which is where our dwarf died, or he left to another place. But we have some positions here we can fill. Central organizing feast and domestic entertainment, so we can get ourselves a new one of those. I don't think you can do girls. Yes, it only picks up guys on here, so we'll just pick a guy. Good enough. And then you can keep an eye on your commanders. You see how they have their martial score here? Like 8 is terrible. We want to get them up to 20, so I want to really prefer to have a better commander. And it might be we need to bring some more into our... Yeah, we have no commanders right now. So we're going to recruit some. So we're going to go to find characters, and we're going to search everywhere. We want ones that will join our court, our male, and then we'll sort by their martial score. So we want them that are higher. But they also have to have the thumbs up that they're willing to join our court. So we're going to invite a couple of these because we really need... We have at least 1, 2, 3 that are pretty low scored there. So we'll try to get 3 of these in. Invite to court. And each of these have different, this one's a battle terrain master, so narrow flank by 50%. They each get like the little traits that helped in battles. This one has +30 to experimentality. This one's a brilliant strategist. They'll all help you if you go to war, like those little traits. So let's unpause. We still have somebody in the prison we could go check on again. Let's wait till these 3 guys get here. And when each of the guys comes, I'll check to see if they're married, if they have kids. He accepted our guardianship of our granddaughter. So he's saying he'll come to our court, so I'm going to check, and he doesn't have a wife. So while I'm here, I'm just going to grab him one. Okay. The other couple should be showing up too, so I'll just wait until all 3 are here, and then I'll go assign them to be commanders. Here's the next one. He already has a wife, so that's good. Accepted that marriage. And then here's the 3rd one. And he already has a wife, but he has 2 kids that could use a guardian. So we'll quickly do that. Get us some guardians on those kids. Okay. Close some of our notifications. Now we're going to go back to our minor titles, and we're going to assign those commanders and get rid of these low ones. So we'll sort again. There we go. And then we'll get rid of that one and put the next one in line. And then we had the 16 one can get replaced by this one. So now we have commanders that have pretty decent scores if we happen to have to go to war. And you can keep an eye on that as well, because sometimes you lose some in battle. We could try to see if we can get another court jester. We could see if there's any dwarfs that we could recruit. So we'll type dwarf. I think you can do women too, maybe. Well, there aren't any that are willing to join our court. Actually, I don't even think there are any dwarfs currently. These are hard to find or hard to talk. And when they come over here, then they're usually of a different culture, and it doesn't go well. Like, the Catholics don't care for them. So I kind of leave that one open for now. But anyway, I think this is probably about a good stopping point for this evening. If you have any questions, let me know now. Like I said, let me know how the mic was doing. And I appreciate you taking the time to watch a little bit of Crusader Kings 2 this evening. We're at 1440 for the year. Started in 1066. I am going to save my game here. So we have a good spot to pick up from on another evening. Let's go. Break time. I run out of names after a while if you can't figure that out. Especially when it comes to naming all the kids. I'm already on like Lucy 3, Michael 20, Misty 12. Sometimes I start naming after songs and singers because I just can't think of anything else. Alright, so I think that's it for the evening. Thanks for joining me.